morning, good morning, good morning! What a wonderful day to be alive. Well, I thought I'd talk about a little bit about my trip to the Philippines for the very first time leaving the United States of America. It was pretty eye-opening. It was pretty amazing. Like, there was a lot of things about the trip that was pretty dope. My trip was dope. The flight wasn't so great though. Flying across the world is not such a fun thing. Neck cramps, leg cramps, back cramps, tight spaces, people on both sides of me. Unfortunately, I was in the middle every time. I didn't get like no overseas phone data or anything because it's like $65 a day or some crazy $160 a day through AT&T, and I was like, no thank you. So when I got there, I finally got there and I landed, and I was like, man, I hope they have Wi-Fi. They did. They have like 2 hours of Wi-Fi for free in their airport. So you sign on to this thing and it gives you 2 hours of free Wi-Fi. And that's how I contacted her when I was there, and I was just hoping that I wouldn't be in the airport for more than 2 hours, because I mean, if I was in there longer, then I couldn't find her when I got out there, when I got out of the airport eventually. You go through immigration and all this, and they ask you some questions, just like a few questions, and then they just let you go. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was. They just stamp your passport, get your fingerprint, take a picture of your face, and then they like, get out of here. So yeah, I get out, and then I pick up, well, I had my bag, so I go by the bag pickup, and I get out the front door, and there's this guy standing there with a shotgun, and it was like a Mossberg shotgun, pump action, and and it was silver, and I was like, what is this guy standing here with a shotgun for? And I was like, I mean, security, I guess, but a shotgun? You can't just have a pistol or anything? And the guy looks at me and tells me, come here, and I'm like, I was like, what is he gonna do? Like, what's this guy's deal? I'm just like standing here, but he's like, what are you looking for? Or do you have someone picking you up? And I was like, yeah, I got somebody picking you up. And he's like up here, and I was like, I don't know where she is. And then he was like, go down there. And there was like this ramp that came down like that, or went down like this on both sides. So I just walked down there, and then like once I get down there, I look around, and I'm like, where am I? So I see all these cars coming through, because it's like a drive-through. There was like an upper tier where cars come through, and then there was a lower tier where cars come through, and then across that there was like hundreds of people behind these bars, fences, and then there was a bunch of guys standing around with shotguns, and people walking back and forth between the cars are like selling. I'm not really sure what their job was, but they were like, they had like these vests on, and they had numbers on the vests, and then I guess they were calling cars to come pick up certain people for certain hotels, I guess. I think that's what it was. But anyways, yeah. So I get there and I see her over there, and then I go over and walk to her, and then they let her on this side of the bars because I was over there, and then one of the ladies that had the vest on started talking to her. I have no idea what they're saying. They're just speaking in Tangala, and I'm just like, because I had a place I wanted to go to. I had a hotel that I wanted to go to, but she insisted that we'd go to the hotel that she wanted to go to, which was fine. So we ended up going to this hotel, and it was like this wall with barbed wire on it all the way around, and then like there's like this checkpoint like into a gated community like thing, and like you go up over the speed bump and you go in there, and then you stop and you talk to the people, and they let you into this like gated little community like thing, and they had a Jollibee in there, they had a couple restaurants, a Mexican restaurant, and then like a different kind of restaurant, and then a hotel, and then they might have had some other stuff in there. I didn't really know. I didn't really go into a lot of places behind that little gate wall thing. We stayed there for 2 days. We really kind of just stayed in the hotel for most of the time. There was a little restaurant that we got free breakfast at, which was like 2 eggs and a piece of ham. And we ate breakfast there every morning, and then actually we just ate there. And then we went over to the Jollibee, because I found out about Jollibee off some YouTubers. They were just like testing Jollibee, and Jollibee sells spaghetti. McDonald's sells spaghetti over there too. I was like, what in the world? I mean, McDonald's and spaghetti? I thought that was mind-blowing. But I guess, I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't do it over here, or why they wouldn't try it. I guess it's not like a thing here. Spaghetti, I mean, I like spaghetti. I probably, as a kid, would probably at least wanted it. I don't know why they don't do that over here. They should. I want spaghetti at McDonald's. Give me spaghetti and McDonald's. But then we left that hotel after staying there for 2 days and just chilling and watching TV most of the time, messing with our phones. We got Wi-Fi in their lobby downstairs, but we didn't get it anywhere else, which sucked, because we had to stand in the lobby if we wanted to get on the Wi-Fi. And there wasn't really much going anywhere, because, I mean, it wasn't really any scenery or anything. It was kind of just blah. There was nothing to go see there. But then we went to, we flew out to Dumaguete, and Dumaguete is dope. Staying in Mabini was really nice. I stayed with her family in their house. They were really nice. Got to meet all her family, hang out with them. I mean, there was a language barrier, but I mean, you could kind of understand what was going on. So we would go back and forth between the Mabini little shopping area and they had like a 7-Eleven in there, and that's where I got all my food and all my drinks and stuff. And then they had the Mabini Springs, which you've seen in a previous video. Mabini Springs is dope. After that, we flew back to Manila, and then we had a bunch of guys like swarm us and was like, "You ride our taxi, you ride our taxi, you ride our taxi." And I was like, if you go to the Philippines, watch out for this, because they were like, "You ride our taxi," you know, and they were like 3,000 peso or 3,000 peso, and I was like, I'm not paying 3,000 pesos to go to the hotel I was trying to go to. And I was like, no, dude. And then he was like, okay. And then after like talking to him for like 5 minutes, he was like, I'll give it to you for 1,500 peso. And I was like, I mean, that's not that bad to go right now. Like, we're getting in a car and go right now. I was like, okay. So we start going, and then the guy was like, oh, you shouldn't go to this hotel because you get stabbed, shanked, or robbed. And I was like, well, and then he started talking to me about some other stuff, and then I went on there and looked at like where she lives, and found a hotel that was close to that was a nice hotel. That I seen the photos, looked at the photos, and seen if it was nice or not with her phone, because she had internet on her phone. And I seen this one. It was Richmond Hotel. And I was like, okay, I'll take me there. And then he's like, well, that's gonna be 3,000 peso. And I was like, whatever, dude. Just take us there. So I paid him 3,000 peso, which is total trash. Because if you are going there, get a Grab. It was 500 pesos to get from the Richmond Hotel back to the airport. And if you are going there, I'd suggest staying at the Richmond Hotel, because I mean, honestly, it was $100 a night, $105 a night there. And I mean, here in America, you find a $105 hotel. I mean, you'll find an alright hotel, but this was like a 30-story hotel with a pool. It had everything, and it was connected to a mall that was like 4 stories high. And then outside of the mall, there was like other like places you could go. It had Starbucks, it had TGI Fridays, it had Outback Steakhouse, it had McDonald's, it had a movie theater. I mean, everything was in that area. It was amazing, and if you were gonna go there, that's where I suggest you to stay. In Manila, if you're staying in Manila. If not, I mean, there's tons of little places on the ocean. I didn't get to go to the ocean, and I want to go to the ocean. So next time I go, I'm definitely going to Apo Island. Apo Island, I hear, is dope. It's a place I want to go really bad. It's called Apo Island, but it's also known as Turtle Island. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and have a nice day!